Hamden DA Anthony Gulluni will serve as vice president of the National District Attorneys Association. That's the country's leading organization representing state and local prosecutors. He previously served 2 terms as president of the Massachusetts District Attorneys Association, where he helped shape statewide policies and prosecutional practices known statewide and nationally for his efforts in youth intervention, victim advocacy, gun violence and prevention, and incarceration alternatives. DA Gulluni says he's honored to serve not only the community, but the Bay State in this new position.
Also bring things back that are happening in other parts of the country that might work here and serve our population and serve victims more effectively. So it's really an interesting two-way street. I get to bring my experiences and the work we've done here to other district attorneys and leaders in law enforcement.
Gulluni will serve as vice president of the National District Attorneys Association for the next 3 years.